Hey everyone, today let's know about the dark history of Europe's werewolf trials. Let's start the video, but before that, I request you to subscribe to the channel and like this video so that I can bring more exciting ones like this. Most of us are familiar with witch trials, but between the 15th and 17th centuries, Europe was also on the hunt for werewolves. For hundreds of years, many people were accused of practicing lycanthropy, many of them considered to be sorcerers and witches as well. And plenty of these men and women were accused, tortured, and killed for being evil werewolves. Werewolves are popular mythological creatures that have been around for centuries. Reports of lycanthropy can be traced back to Mesopotamia in 2100 BCE. The concept of a human turning into a wolf is present in Greek mythology, where King Lycaon of Arcadia was turned into a werewolf by Zeus as punishment, hence the name lycanthropy. Werewolves were part of European folklore during the Middle Ages, but then the Christian Church took over and started blaming all sorts of bad things on witches. A popular belief at the time was that these witches had the capacity to turn into wolves and prey on livestock and people. Around the early 1400s, officials in the Valais region of Switzerland started hunting for witches and werewolves, and by 1428, the first trials took place. Werewolf prosecutions then spread from Switzerland to the French region of Franche-Comté and then across Europe to Germany, the Netherlands, and Livonia, which was in the Baltic Sea region, which includes present-day Estonia and Latvia. There are several accounts of how this happened. These usually include a pact with the devil who would hand them an ointment, a wolf skin, or another object such as a belt which would transform the person into a wolf. Let's look at some of the most famous werewolves throughout the history. Peter Stump, aka the Werewolf of Bedburg, was the German serial killer accused of werewolfery. Stump confessed to having killed and eaten 13 children and 2 pregnant women. In 1589, the Werewolf of Bedburg was skinned alive while strapped to a Catherine wheel and then beheaded and burned to the ground. Pierre Bourgot and Michel Verdun were 2 serial killers who confessed to the murders and cannibalism of numerous young children. They were both executed for lycanthropy in 1521. Legend has it that the Werewolf of Chalons, also known as the Demon Tailor, was a tailor from Paris, France. He is said to have tortured and killed numerous children in 1598. Chalons' crimes were so horrific that the court ordered for all records to be destroyed so that he could be erased from history. Gilles Garnier, also known as the Werewolf of Dole and the Hermit of Saint-Bonnot, terrorized the town of Dole, France until January 1573, when he was burnt at the stake. The serial killer accused of lycanthropy admitted to having tortured, killed, and eaten several children. Thiers of Kaltenborn, also known as the Livonian werewolf, was an octogenarian who around 1691 confessed to being a werewolf. According to him, werewolves were the hounds of God, and they actually fought witches and the devil himself. Playing the good werewolf got the man from Jürgensburg, Swedish Livonia, which is a modern-day Latvia, a ban from church and a few lashes as punishment instead of death. Jacques Roulet, aka the Werewolf of Cord and the Werewolf of Angers, was arrested in 1598 and accused of murdering, mutilating, and cannibalizing a teenager. The Frenchman confessed to being a werewolf and was sentenced to death for murder, lycanthropy, and cannibalism. But following an appeal, Roulette managed to get locked away in a sanatorium. Legend has it that circa 1640, the German city of Greifswald was ruled by werewolves. A group of students got together and melted all the silver they could find. They made silver bullets for their muskets and pistols and regained control of the city. The Wolf of Ansbach was said to be a man-eating reincarnation of the deceased mayor of the Bavarian town of Ansbach. He was eventually killed in 1685 and his carcass put on display in the town square. Manuel Blanco Romasanta, aka the Werewolf of Alaris, is known as Spain's first serial killer. He was arrested in 1853 and admitted to 13 murders, but claimed to have done so as a werewolf. After a medical examination, Romasanta's defense held no ground and he was sentenced to prison, where he died in 1863. How many people were tried and convicted of being werewolves? Numbers vary, depending on the source. Some point to 30,000 people being convicted in France alone between 1520 and 1630, while other sources point to just a few hundreds. Some of these cases concern people who likely suffered from mental illness. Clinical lycanthropy, for instance, is an actual psychiatric syndrome where sufferers believe they can turn into a wolf. Well, that's it for today. I hope you're liking Nerdies discoveries. Can't wait for the next video to learn more and be fascinated about. See you on the next. Bye.